Hi everyone, welcome back to Ladensa Crochets. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. Kindly subscribe and join the family. In this tutorial, we're making this awesome pair of pants using the solid shell stitch. I know it looks a little bit intimidating, but it's not. It's a very simple stitch and I guarantee you, you're going to love it as much as I did. Get your materials and let's get into the tutorial. I'll use a 4mm crochet hook, then a medium weight yarn in color royal blue. Then you're going to need stitch markers, at least 2 of them, a yarn needle for weaving in the ends. Then a measuring tape and a pair of scissors. I'm going to illustrate the measurements we need using this pair of pants. So if you're making the pants for yourself, you can pick one of your pants and measure it out so that you know the measurements that you need. So the first measurement that you're going to need is a thigh measurement, and it's this measurement from this side, from this edge to this other edge. So you need to measure the widest part of your thigh, and it's usually the part that is very close to the hips after the parting of the legs. And this stretches, and I'm going to be working this one. The thigh measurement is at 12. When multiplied by 2, that is 24. I'm working with 13, so that when I multiply 13 by 2, that will be 26. The other measurement that you're going to need is the measurement from the bottom of your pants to the parting of your legs, this part right here. So you measure, take that measurement, and this one is at 28. Then the other measurement that you're going to need is the hip measurement, and the hip measurement is measured above this parting of the leg, and it's this part right here. And this one is at around 21. 21 multiplied by 2 is 42. The other measurement that you're going to need is the fly measurement. The fly measurement is this measurement from the waist to the parting of the legs. So this one right here. And this is at 13. Now get those measurements and let's begin. We begin with a slip knot, and our starting chain is the length of our thigh measurement. So the thigh measurement is the starting chain, and we're going to work our trouser from bottom coming up, and that's why we're using the thigh measurement first and not the hip measurement. Now start chaining, and I'll start by chaining 5. Then remove the hook from the 5th chain and insert it into the 1st chain. Then get back into the 5th chain and continue chaining. You want to chain until you get your thigh measurement. Make sure your chain is a multiple of 2 or a number that is divisible by 2. I've chained 84. You need to measure the thigh measurement while stretching just a little bit because we don't want the trouser to be too tight. Now my chain without stretching is at 11, which is because it's folded into 2. 11 gets me to 22, but when I give this a little bit of a stretch, it gets me to 12, which is 26. And it's the thigh measurement that I'm working with. Pull the second loop through the first loop to complete that round, and then I'll chain 1, insert my hook into that very first stitch, first chain, and I'm going to work over this end. When I insert, I'll yarn over and pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops to complete a single crochet. Insert my hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the 2. So then I'm going to place 1 single crochet into each of the chains till I get to the end of row 1. So whatever number you've started with, make sure that your single crochets are that same number. So I like to count my stitches, especially in the first row, to make sure that I'm not doing extra or less stitches. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll keep going and I'll meet you at the end of row 1. I'm coming towards the end of the row and I'm just placing single crochets into the remaining stitches. Then to complete the row, we're going to do a slip stitch on top of the very first single crochet that we did, which is this one right here. So slip stitch on top of it. And we are done with row 1. Then we're going to chain 2, and the chain 2 is going to act as our first double crochet, then turn. Then we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that very first stitch and do a double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2 and then pull through 2. Then we're going to do another double crochet into the same stitch, and together with the chain 2, that will make 3 double crochets. Next we'll skip this second stitch and work into the third stitch. Now this is the second stitch, so we skip it and work into the third with a single crochet. Then yarn over, skip the next stitch, work into the one that follows, place 3 single crochets there. 3 double crochets, sorry. We are working 3 double crochets into this stitch. So 3 double crochets. Then skip the next stitch and work into the one that follows with a single crochet. Yarn over, skip the next, work into the next one, 3 double crochets into the same stitch. So 1, 2 and 3. Then we skip this one and work next with a single crochet. Yarn over, skip, 3 double crochets, and this is what we're going to alternate until we get to the end of the row. So 3 double crochets, we skip a chain, we skip a stitch and work a single crochet. So 3 double crochets, skip, single crochet, skip, 3 double crochets. Keep going with this pattern to the end of row 2. So I've just done 3 double crochets. I'm going to skip and work a single crochet next. Then, because we started with 3 double crochets, we should end with a single crochet. But I have 2 stitches remaining. It's supposed to be 1, but there is no harm. You can skip both of them. So I'm going to skip that and slip stitch on top of the chain 2, the one that we began with, to complete the row. Then to start row 2, I'm going to slip stitch into the next double crochet, the middle double crochet, then chain 1 and turn. We're going to work a single crochet on top of each of the middle double crochet in each of the 3 double crochet clusters. So right here, I'm going to go back into that double crochet and place a single crochet. So wherever there were 3 double crochets, we're going to have a single crochet. Where there was a single crochet, we're going to have 3 double crochets. So into this single crochet, I'm going to place 3 double crochets there. And this is row 3. Then we have the 3 double crochet cluster. We are counting 1, 2 and 3. So in the second double crochet, do a single crochet there. Yarn over, do 3 double crochets into the single crochet from the previous row. And repeat this to the end. At the end, I'm going to have 3 double crochets into the single crochet. Then we have this very first single crochet. We insert the hook into it, and then do a slip stitch to complete row 3. Chain 2 and turn to begin row 4. We begin row 4 into the single crochet, and we're going to work, because the chain 2 is our first double crochet, we're going to work 2 more double crochets into that stitch. So 1 and 2. Then skip to the double crochet stitches and work a single crochet on top of the middle double crochet. Then into the single crochet we place 3 double crochets, and then repeat to the end. So I'm working the 3 double crochets. Then at the end we have the single crochet, and we slip stitch onto the chain 2. Then slip stitch again into the next double crochet, chain 1 and turn to begin row 5. We're going to work row 5 the same way we worked row 3, and therefore we're going to be alternating between row 3 and row 4 till we get the length from the bottom of the heel up to the parting of the legs. So now we start with a single crochet, next 3 double crochets, single crochet next into that double crochet in the middle, 3 double crochets onto the single crochet. Then I'll keep doing these repeat rows until I get that length. And it's the length, you can either measure it from the bottom coming up or from the parting of your legs till you get to the bottom of your leg, to the heel, that is. This is after working the length from the bottom all the way to the parting of the legs, and I've done a total of 74 rows to get to a length of, let's confirm the length. This gets me to a length of 31 inches. So 31 inches is the length from the parting of my legs to the bottom. The next thing that we need to do is the upper part, the fly, to achieve the fly part of the pants. And I've already done the other piece, so let me just show you how it should be looking like before we start working this. This is the complete half of the pants. That is from the parting of the legs all the way up, and I've also done the ribbing on the waist. And so this other piece, when I place it over the one that is complete, this is what we have. It comes up to this point. Now, as you can see, I've left out some stitches while working the upper part, because sometimes your thigh measurement might be bigger than your hip measurement. Like your hips might be 40 and your thigh is 24. And 24 multiplied by 2, that would be 48. And we cannot work with 48 up to the upper part of the pants because we want them to fit well. Now, my thigh measurement is 26, and 26 multiplied by 2 is 52. But my hip measurement is not 52, it's 44. That means 44 divided by 2, that will be 22. And that means if I was working in 26, and the hip measurement is 22, I need to reduce some stitches. right here before I start working up, which is exactly what I've done here. I reduced a total of 4 inches. It looks like it's stretched out a little bit, but then I'm going to count my stitches. Because I've tried it on, that is why it looks stretched out. So you're going to measure out, you're going to get your thigh measurement, mine is 26, and then you subtract the hip measurement divided by 2. So I'm taking 26 minus 12, which is giving me 4, which is what I'm going to leave out, the 4 inches. And because now this has already stretched out to 6, I'll just count the stitches right here so that I know how many stitches I'll leave out. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I do not need this stitch marker here. So now, when I'm working the next row on my second leg, or the second half of the pants, I'm supposed to leave out 13 stitches, just like I did on the other side. So from this stitch, I'm going to count. I'll be working going to this side, so I'm going to count 13 stitches from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So I'll mark the 13th stitch right there. And now when I measure, it should be 4 inches from 13. It's around 4.5. I've also tried this on. That is why it's a bit stretched. That is why we take our measurements while stretching, because it definitely stretches. Now, from this point, I'll chain. I'm on the double crochets, so I've already slip stitched once. So I'll slip stitch to get to the next stitch, or which is the middle stitch. Then chain 1 and turn. Then after turning, that stitch is supposed to get a single crochet. Then the next stitch, which is a single crochet stitch, will get 3 double crochets. The next stitch will be on top of the middle double crochet here, which is a single crochet. Then we work into the single crochet with 3 double crochets. Then single crochet next in the middle double crochet, then in the single crochet 3 double crochets. And now I'm going to repeat that till I get to the stitch just before the stitch marker. The stitch just before the stitch marker is a single crochet stitch, and I'm going to place 3 double crochets there. And that is where we end that row of extension, and I'm going to count that as row 1. Now I'm going to chain 1 and turn. When you are turning at the point where we have the 3 double crochets, after turning, we don't work in the first stitch. We skip over to the second stitch and place a single crochet there. Then work into the single crochet with 3 double crochets. Next, a single crochet on top of the middle double crochet, 3 double crochets into the single crochet, and repeat to the end. This is row 2. At the end, I have a single crochet, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets there. Then chain 1 and turn to begin row 3. Like I've mentioned, when you're starting with a row that has the double crochets, you don't begin in the first stitch but in the second one with a single crochet. Then repeat the pattern, 3 double crochets into the single crochet, 1 single crochet into the middle double crochet, 3 double crochets into the single crochet, repeat to the end. I'll meet you at the end. At the end, I'll have the 3 double crochets on top of the single crochet. And I'm going to keep working these rows until I get the fly measurement. This is how we measure that fly. You fold your leg into half. And when you're measuring the fly, you start from this point going up while stretching. Let me show you with the complete one. So you start measuring from the top. I'll measure from the top, then up to this point it's at 11, and then plus these inches from this point. This point too, we measure it and it's 3 inches. So 11 plus 3, that is 14. I'm working a high waist pants, pair of pants, and that's why I've gone with a longer fly. It could be between 12 to 14 or 15. It's all up to you, the size of the fly that you want and where you want to wear your pants. So if you want to wear them longer, higher on your belly, then that is high waist, you're going to do a longer fly. If you want them lower, like on your waist, you're going to do a smaller fly. So when you're measuring, you can, because now we are working going up, you first measure this, which is giving me 3 when stretched, and then you measure going to the top up to the ribbon, that is around 10 inches, and then the ribbon covers a length of 3. So now I've worked a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've worked a total of 16 rows going up, and so I'll work the 16 rows on this other part before I start working the ribbon. Right now I'm in row 4. So I'll just chain 1 and turn, then begin in the second single crochet, in the second double crochet with a single crochet, then 3 double crochets into the chain 1 into the single crochet, then a single crochet on top of the second double crochet, then the 3 double crochets, and I'll keep repeating till I get my 16 rows. Then I'll be back and show you how to do the ribbon. This is after the 14 rows. I had mentioned that there were 16, but I recounted and it was supposed to be 14. So now we're going to do the ribbon, but then before that, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to place 1 single crochet into every stitch now. So in the first stitch, place a single crochet in the next stitch, into the next one, and into all the stitches all the way till we get to this point. Now I have single crochets into all the stitches and I'm ready to do the ribbon. Now to do the ribbon, you're going to need a smaller hook, and I'm going to use my 2.5. You can use a 2.5, a 2.0, or even a 3. whichever is available to you, but make sure that it's smaller than the 4, and it cannot be 3.5. Make it 3, 2.5 or 2. Now to begin the ribbing, we start by chaining 10. I have my 10 chains, then I'll block off the last chain and chain one more, then insert my hook into that 10th chain that I'm holding and place a single crochet there. We're going to work the single crochets in the back loops. In the next stitch, I'll do my next single crochet into the 3rd chain and into all the chains for a total of 10 single crochets. I have my 10 single crochets and I'm just going to turn my work. To complete that first row, we turn our work to this side. So it was looking like this, so we turn it like this. Then we're going to skip the first stitch, which is this one right here, and work into the 2nd stitch, and right there we're going to do a slip stitch, and that completes that first row. Then we're going to do a 2nd slip stitch, and that acts as a chain 1 so that we are able to turn to the other side and begin row 2. So now turn and begin in the very first stitch in the back loop. So right here, this is where we would normally work, right here, but then we want to work in the back loop right here. So work into that back loop with a single crochet, then work into the next back loop, and you're going to work for a total of 9 stitches in the back loops, or until we have the last stitch remaining. So this is my 9th stitch. Now into the last stitch, this is the back loop, but we're not going to work in the back loop for the last stitch. We'll work into the both loops like that, then chain 1 and turn to begin row 3. So when we are coming to the end on this side, we're going to work on the both loops, but when we are starting the row from that side, we start in the back loop. So into the back loop of this first stitch, I'm going to place my first single crochet there, then work the 10 back loops. I'm done with row 3 in the back loops. To complete that row, we're going to skip over to the next stitch. So we've just worked into this, so we skip into the next one and do a slip stitch there. Then we do a 2nd slip stitch into the 2nd stitch and turn. When we turn, we begin in the back loop. I don't know why my camera is not focusing so well on the stitches. Then into the next stitch, into the 3rd stitch in the back loop, and then we're going to work all the back loops apart from the last one. When we get into the last stitch, we are going to work the single crochet into the both loops right here. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 5. Row 5, we begin it in the back loop. at the end, slip stitch into the next stitch, then slip stitch next and turn. And now keep repeating these rows until you've placed a row of single crochets into all these stitches to the end. After completing the last row, I'm going to chain one, then I'll cut off the yarn, and I'm going to leave a long tail for joining this piece with the other side. So just cut off the yarn and pull it through. Then we have the second leg done, and it's time to join the two. So we have that. Then we have the second one. So we're going to place them like this, side by side, with the parts that we've reduced facing each other, so that we have something like this. Then we're going to get the middle point, the middle part of this side. Like my stitches were 13, so I'm going to count up to the 7th stitch and mark it. Let me use this stitch marker. So the middle stitch on this side and the middle stitch on the other side, we mark them. I'm just illustrating without counting. You'll need to count the stitches. Count the stitches and make sure that you mark the exact middle. So this stitch in the middle and the middle stitch on the other side, we join them like that. Then we're going to get this side and this side, we also join them with, and you need to do this on the wrong side of your pants. So we're joining this part with the corresponding part on the other side, that corner right there. Then we're going to get another stitch marker and mark right here. Then I'll get another one and mark the upper part. So now when you're joining, we're going to join from the top all the way through the middle, and then we're going to get to the other side. So like, I hope you're getting what I'm saying. So we are joining from the top on one side all the way to the middle part of the pants. Then we're going to come to the other side and join all the way to the top. So now this is the wrong side. I'll get this and the darn in middle. Then start joining from here.